Today, an anti-terror unit was deployed in the streets of Bradford, where they arrested a man and a woman at a residential address in Bogart Hill Gardens in Leeds, in the Seacroft area. And armed officers from what looked like counter-terror unit, based on the tactical gear and their vests, etc. that they were wearing, raided this home, arrested this man and a woman at gunpoint after a brief standoff. But multiple police vehicles, including a van with a dog unit, blocked the street and ambulances were on standby for a precaution. And the strangest fact of all, not one mainstream media outlet has covered this story. And I find that pretty bonkers. So there was overhead footage which is picked up on social media, and I've done everything possible which suggests that it is genuine from today, yet no mainstream coverage. Now, it is possible that the counter-terrorism unit was used for non-counter-terror crimes. And there have been suggestions that the area is known to have guns, drug issues, things like that. So it could be, and it is possible, that the rest had nothing to do with counter-terror. They were just using an asset for possibly the safety of the officers. But I would imagine that in Yorkshire there would be normal armed response teams who would be quite capable of doing a job. So I can't 100% confirm that this is counter-terrorism, although I can tell you and put my reputation at stake to suggest it was a counter-terrorism unit that was out in public today in in Leeds. It's either, there's only two things happening here, the reasons why the mainstream media have not covered this story. And that is either, one, they don't want us to know about it, or two, things are that crazy in the United Kingdom that having armed counter-terrorism unit on our streets arresting two adults is just the norm. Now I'm going to give you a look at the footage that I've managed to secure from social media, and let me know in the comments below what you think's going on. Now, from about 5 o'clock tonight, 5 p.m, there was zero mainstream media coverage. I've checked intensively, and nothing from West Yorkshire Police. Now, that may change as the night goes on. And as I say, two people were taken from the property, a man and a woman. So you can make of that what you wish, but I just find it rather bonkers. But there's nothing, no official confirmation from anybody, but these claims do look 100% accurate that the thing happened. The only thing that I would suggest is potentially debatable was it anti-terror crime related? And that could be clarified quite easy by our police force down there. But I don't know if social media has been about for a long time now. So I don't know if I personally feel less secure in the United Kingdom as each passing day. Are we seeing higher levels of serious crimes like this, potentially counter-terror activities? Or is it just because social media, we see more of them? have and are the mainstream media covering the same amount of stories that they would normally, and the same sort of ratio of stories. They're never going to cover every story. But they've just never been able to report on every single anti-terror thing that happens in our streets. I don't know is the honest answer, but all I do know is, I know through personal experience, I know through travelling the length and breadth of the country. I mean, I was up at Inverness yesterday, I've been all over the sort of last 4 or 5 months, I've been all over the UK. I've been Aberdeen, Peterhead, Ballymena, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Perth, Manchester, London, a couple of times in London, down to Dover, Calais and Lesbos. And I kind of feel that most normal people are feeling this way, that there are just more serious things going on round about us. But I do concede that that might just be because the social media and people who term themselves citizen journalists or auditors and things are reporting more, and every day there's more and more people doing this sort of stuff, that we might just be hearing of it more than we felt we maybe heard of it 2 to 5 years ago. But my gut tells me that that's not the case, that there is more violent crime out there. There was the reports today that I was going to do a video on, but this story came up in Glasgow, the rise in children being charged with murders and attempted murders has gone through the roof. And that's a serious thing. So that again points me in, these serious things are happening more and more frequently than it once was. But I cannot get away from the thought that not one single mainstream media outlet, nor West Yorkshire Police themselves, have made a single comment about this. I just find that absolutely amazing. Now, as I said, I put my hands up. Just because my investigation suggests that this was a counter-terror unit, that may be wrong, although probability I'm suggesting it is. It may be somebody that just wears the same sort of gear and the same sort of hardware. And even if it is counter-terror, and that was ever confirmed, that actually carried out the arrest, it may not be a terror-linked activity. They might just be, as I said earlier, utilising an asset at their disposal. Either way, some pretty serious crimes are happening in our cities. The mainstream are silent. If you want others to see the video, do me a favour, click a thumbs up, put your comments below, hit the share button. And if you've not already done so, please look at hitting the subscribe button. Even if you think you're subscribed, have a check, is the subscribe button available to you? That means YouTube, for whatever reason, have unsubscribed you, and that's happening daily. So please consider doing that. It is getting harder to get views on YouTube because of the type of materials I'm covering, and I want to continue doing so, but I can't do that if nobody watches them. There's no point. So please support the channel in whatever way you can. Share the videos, like the videos, make comments, do all that, and that should cheat the algorithm and get us back up to where we were about 4 months ago. So having said all that, have a great day. Cheery, bye now. Behind me is Glasgow Sheriff Court, one of Europe's busiest courts. And because of that fact, we'll see every week several members of the public and podcasters, etc., facing trials in here for a number of things. However, an increasing number are for posts on social media, videos on YouTube, etc., etc., etc. And for that reason and that reason alone, I believe it would make sense for everybody who does podcasts as a minimum to join the Free Speech Union, because they will help protect you when the law turns on you. That doesn't give you carte blanche to say what you want as a member, but it does give you the protection to help you when the law goes wrong. This is not now only something that should be considered by podcasters, because we are seeing more and more people each day arrested. Normal people who don't even see themselves as civilian journalists, arrested for posts on social media. So it makes sense to join the Free Speech Union, because we live in this country in 2025.